Once a month or so, we invite woman of high-tech vibes, Lindsay Smith, to pop into Studio 4 with the latest techno news and techno toys. She is a digital living expert and the CEO of Massive Media, and it is my pleasure to welcome Lindsay Smith back to Studio 4 to show and tell us more.
How are you today?
Well, I'm having a happy holiday now that you're here because there's blinking.
You love the blinky lights. I remember back when Blackberries first came out. Remember we were so excited about the blinky lights and the way to customize the phone with. You remember? Long time ago now, hey?
Long time
We've
ago.
come a long way since then.
We sure have, and I'm sure there's everybody who is wishing for something technical under the tree, probably a tablet or something like that, or not.
We're all geeks at heart, right? So I think that there are a lot of technology toys today that are perfect for all age groups, all demographics, and there's lots of fun to be had.
And Steve Jobs is in heaven watching over. Maybe he's not in heaven, I don't know, but he's somewhere watching over. Apple without Steve Jobs.
That's a good question. It seems to be doing okay so far. The new CEO, Tim, has taken over and is doing a really good job. It's said that he is definitely a very charismatic and personable leader. Jobs was known for being a little bit harsh sometimes on his employees. He was very obsessed with the attention to detail, which made him very, very good at his job, but sometimes at the expense of the team. So the new CEO is someone who definitely cares about collaboration a little bit more and is less about these are my ideas and it has to be this way, and more about trusting in the team to another extent.
What we know for sure is that a Steve Jobs book will probably be under a lot of Christmas trees, and Tim Cook, the new man, visionary too, has to be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he definitely doesn't have the charisma to the level that Steve Jobs had, or the passion, at least on the outside of it. But I think that definitely on the inside that little package of his, he
sure run the company. And RIM, where's RIM in all of this?
RIM is really struggling right now. The market share for obviously tablets didn't fully take off for them. The smartphone, I can't remember the exact percentage of what they owe of the market share that they have right now in North America or globally, but it's definitely not at pace with the iPhone and the Android. It's actually the Android platforms that are winning out right now.
Okay, and that means?
Oh, that means right, Fanny. Sorry. So
well, I know some things. Yes, I have an iPhone.
Yes, well, and some people may not. That's very true. So the three main operating systems on phones right now that are leading globally are the Apple's iOS, which is on the iPhone, Android, which is available on several different tablet devices. So we actually have a Samsung Galaxy S phone here today, and they're one of the ones that have the Android platform.
Okay,
on
less
it.
Expensive because it's Android or not?
Well, it's made by Google, and typically, yes, those phones are less expensive. Like this one, for example, goes for $99 with a 3-year contract, where if you compare that to an iPhone, it's going for $159 and up for entry level, which can make a big difference for some people.
Something that phone won't do that an iPhone will do? There's missing?
That's a good question. I recently switched over to an Android platform. You'll notice one of the main differences on these phones is they have a desktop screen with something called widgets that you can customize. So I've got the weather set up there, and essentially I've got YouTube, but we're not on a network right now. I think that's some pictures, quick search to Google. What it's basically doing is allowing you with one touch to be able to get into your applications or get information. Whereas when you go into an iPhone, you're going in to the application level right away, which means that you're going in and you're just seeing all of your applications and you're launching them from there. That's a big difference. I would say that the Android phones, like this phone is definitely very comparable to the iPhone, but it depends what you're using it for. If it's basic consumer application, like looking at videos, surfing the internet, media streaming, like Samsung has a great all-share program where you can stream content directly from your phone onto your smart TV and so on. Those things are being done extremely well. Where it falls short is the fact that, like, if you're using it for business applications, have you ever used the visual voicemail on an iPhone before?
No.
Okay, so it's a great application that allows you to essentially press one button, listen to your voicemail without having to actually dial in and call it.
Okay, that's a good
feature. And it shows you the actual number on there with one click. You can call the person back. You can forward and rewind. I haven't found an application with the Android phones that allow you to do that. And I don't think BlackBerry has that either.
If you want to pay for parking, you on the street now
Yes.
that you have to pay till 10 o'clock in the city.
I know.
Should you download that app? Is it necessary, or should you just take the number off the meter and do the thing?
I have some criticisms about that app. Mostly it takes too long to load. It's quite slow, the pay by phone app that they've launched. And it's got such a long step process. I've actually received 3 tickets from using the app, because what happened was I was in a parking lot where I couldn't access Wi-Fi. I jumped out of the parking, or walked out of the parking lot, jumped.
Right.
Imagine that.
Jumped
Jumped out of the parking lot.
You're just a miracle.
Absolutely. So I started the process on 3G, and then when I switched back into a Wi-Fi network, I had to log into the Wi-Fi network. It booted me out. But it doesn't tell you, you need to go through about 5 steps and see that parking confirmation click before you're absolutely sure that your parking is paid for, which can be tricky because you half expect it on step 3 or 4. So if you're a busy person and you're just using it, which most people who are downloading apps, they just expect them to be easy to use. You're pressing it, you're moving on to your next thing, and if you haven't seen that confirmation, chances are it may not have gone through.
Right, and you also want the little buzz in the theater when your parking is up, so somehow you can, you know,
and it doesn't
fix
always,
it.
I find it's not always consistent that way. The same way the pay by phone, when you call in, it doesn't always text you. It's hit and miss, so you really have to still watch your parking.
Tell that to City Hall. You know,
I think we
when
just
you're trying
have.
to get out of the ticket. Yes, City Hall, pay
Yeah.
attention.
Yes.
Gwyneth Paltrow has an app. It's $3.99. Apparently, all her trendy places, where she gets her nails done, where she has her coffee in the morning, all of that. Why would you want a Gwyneth Paltrow app?
You want anything that will sell, right? I mean, how many fans does she have? And it's $3.99. That's a little like on the expensive side for a consumer app. Usually they're around 99 cents for your typical game or application, unless it's for business. I've seen them go up to about $3.99.
Okay, but it's a one-time deal, $3.99 forever.
You only pay once. So if you are a die-hard Gwyneth Paltrow fan, then why not?
Or you go to New York, you want to spot Gwyneth? Perhaps. Liz Taylor, that big auction at Christie's, apparently her diamond, the Burton diamond, the one Richard gave her, 8.8 mil.
That's wow.
I know.
Do you have anyone in your
No, I don't think it's
circle of
under my
friends that
tree.
no, it's not.
Unless I find an Asian boyfriend, because somebody from Asia bought it, and I assume he's happy to give it to his wife or girlfriend.
Maybe that was the strategy to find a girlfriend for Christmas.
Well, it's 33 carats or something, that diamond, so I guess it's worth...
Imagine how heavy that would be.
I know, $8,818 or so, whatever, thousands. And then the necklace that has the name La Peregrina, only 11 mil.
Do you name your necklaces?
No. I was listening to Mo on with Bro Jake this morning, and she said she's going to start naming her jewelry. Like, here's Bob. Here's Dwayne.
Nice.
Why not?
I'm sporting Bob today.
I'm sporting Bob today, but if you don't have the Taylor diamond tucked under your new present, let's start going through some of the list. Let me see.
Would you want to start off with this cool little camera? So big hit back in a few years ago was the flip cameras made by Cisco. They had bought out Flip, and then they sadly discontinued them. One of the reasons why those cameras were so fantastic is the fact that you could take video and quickly upload it to YouTube or the internet.
Right.
This camera here is a Samsung MV580. I love it because it reminds me of the Flip cameras, because it actually has this screen that pops up so that you can. There we go,
fabulous!
Fanny. Isn't that kind of cool?
Are you taking a picture of me? I can see me.
You are. There you are,
Gee.
Fanny, right on there. The other thing you're going to notice about this camera is the fact that we're moving towards an app-based platform. So when you think about going into your camera in the past, you're going in and you're looking at all these different interfaces. Well, Samsung is one of the manufacturers that's done a really good job of mimicking what we see on a smartphone or what we're starting to see on smart TVs, where you have different applications to enhance the user experience. So for example, on this particular phone, you can see right here I've got funny faces. I can actually go in, and we should do this too, Fanny. I don't know if I can take pictures.
Don't get my double chin. Try not to do that.
What happens is
can you Photoshop on that phone?
Yeah, you can actually edit right within there. But you can see here I could pick a variety of different pictures, and I could distort Fanny's face if I wanted to be really mean. I don't know if it's cluing in there, but you can see the face detection on that. Look at that. Look at how horrible I just made you look.
Yes,
That's
great.
just terrible
Thank you.
of me.
I can do that myself.
I know. We don't
in
need.
spite of my brilliant makeup artist.
Kids love this though, absolutely. Like they love to play around. The other thing, if you want to actually look really good on it, one of my favorite features on it is it has a self-portrait feature where you can actually, a pose guide. So you can pick from a variety of pictures in there. Right now I've got the pose guide set up in there, but if I wanted to pick a different face, just go right in there and I can see what kind of shot do I want to mimic. And from there I just select it and it gives me the outline. Oops, right on the, it's always hard to do this backwards.
Yes.
See, you can see it's actually
Sometimes
changed
it's hard to
right
do
in
it
there.
forwards.
So the nice thing about the flip is that I can use it as a regular camera like this, but then I can also flip it back when I want to take self-portraits. So this one also has 3D and movies built into it as well.
That's incredible. What does that weigh? Hardly
actually not that
anything.
bad.
It's
Feel
so
it.
thin.
It's so thin. It's tiny. It is the perfect
no,
point
but
and
it's
shoot
so
camera.
light. Like what? 100 grams maybe.
Yeah.
It's just like ridiculously
It's got
cool.
16 megapixel and it values for about $299.
And so if you have a phone, a camera in your iPhone, which we do, why do you need this particularly?
This has got a little bit more features to it. I mean, it's 16 megapixel camera, so I can't remember what the iPhone is now. It depends on which version you've got of it.
So a few more.
But it's got more. It's going to take a better pictures. I personally don't like the photos that I take on an iPhone.
You don't?
I don't. I just think that they're not as
Okay, so
not
that
as quality.
is,
You get a bit. This was made. It's got a better lens.
The camera to die for, a better lens, and if you're taking pictures of a tiny flower or something, you want all the detail. Perhaps this is the one.
Exactly. And if you want to read all the specs on it, I've posted it on my blog, and also it's available at Best Buy.
Great.
So.
Okay, so available at Best Buy. Let's take a break. We'll come back and you'll sing a little karaoke, will you?
Will you sing with me?
Depends on the song.
I know.
Okay.
I think we picked the best one.
One step over the line or something like that. Okay, we'll come back with Lindsay Smith.